Welcome to my channel Rare Coin Shop, because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, the story of the United States of America half-dollar coin dated 1776 to 1976 begins long before it ever entered the hands of collectors, because this coin was created to honor one of the most meaningful celebrations in American history, the bicentennial of the nation's independence, making it far more than just a piece of metal but a symbol of freedom and the endurance of a young nation destined for greatness. When this special half-dollar was released, the excitement across the country was enormous, as millions of people wanted a tangible reminder of 200 years of American heritage, and this patriotic energy turned the coin into one of the most talked about pieces of currency ever produced by the U.S. Mint, keeping collectors fascinated even today. The coin itself instantly captures attention with its bold dual date 1776 to 1976. A reminder of how far the nation had come in 2 centuries, and the desire to hold a piece of this historic anniversary turned many casual citizens into enthusiastic collectors almost overnight. On the obverse side, we see the iconic bust of President John F. Kennedy, designed by Gilroy Roberts, whose masterful artwork gives the coin a smooth, elegant profile that still remains one of the most admired presidential portraits ever placed on U.S. currency, adding emotional significance for Americans who cherished Kennedy's memory. The reverse of the coin introduces an even more striking design created by Seth G. Huntington, featuring the Independence Hall of Philadelphia, the revered building where both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and signed, and this powerful image transforms the coin from standard currency into a miniature monument of American history. Although the U.S. Mint produced these coins in large quantities for regular circulation, many collectors do not realize that not all 1776 to 1976 half-dollars are equal, because certain rare versions, especially those made at the Denver Mint, marked with a small d, can possess characteristics that dramatically increase their value when judged by expert collectors. One of the key factors that makes a bicentennial half-dollar truly desirable is its condition, because coins that show no signs of wear, scratches, or contact marks and remain in bright original luster are significantly harder to find than most people believe. Especially after decades of circulation across the country, collectors also pay close attention to strike quality, because some Denver minted coins were not struck as sharply as others, and when a D-mint coin displays crisp details, bold lettering, and beautifully defined lines, it becomes an exceptional example that stands far above the average bicentennial half-dollar, beyond condition and strike. One of the real treasures that makes certain 1776 to 1976 D half-dollars incredibly valuable is the presence of rare minting errors, which can turn an otherwise common coin into a remarkable prize that collectors dream of finding in old jars, forgotten boxes, or inherited collections. Some of the most stunning errors include off-center strikes where the coin is noticeably shifted, clipped planchets where a portion of the metal is missing, or double-die errors that create duplicated features on the lettering or design, and each of these mistakes transforms the coin into a unique artifact worthy of serious collector attention. The Denver Mint in particular is known to have produced a limited number of unusual bicentennial strikes, and the challenge of locating one of these rare Denver errors makes the hunt thrilling, inspiring collectors to carefully examine every detail in hopes of discovering something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. Another reason this coin continues to be loved by numismatists is the historical energy it carries. Because holding a bicentennial half-dollar feels like holding a snapshot of the American spirit during a time of celebration, unity, and pride, and this emotional connection adds value that cannot be measured by money alone. What makes the search even more exciting is the knowledge that many people still do not realize how special the bicentennial half-dollars can be, especially those minted at Denver, meaning there are still countless hidden treasures waiting to be discovered by collectors with a keen eye and a little bit of patience. The metallic composition of these coins also adds to their appeal, because while most were made in copper nickel, there were also special silver-clad versions produced for collectors, and these silver varieties especially, when paired with a Denver Mint mark and an error, become some of the most coveted pieces in the entire bicentennial series. Many collectors enjoy the thrill of comparing multiple 1776 to 1976 half dollars side by side, studying subtle variations in details such as the windows of Independence Hall or the feather lines on Kennedy's hair, because even the smallest differences can reveal striking anomalies that elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. Coin enthusiasts often share stories of discovering a rare bicentennial half-dollar tucked away in old family savings or mixed into pocket change, and these thrilling finds keep the legend of the 1776 to 1976 coin alive, inspiring more people every year to begin exploring the fascinating world of numismatics. This coin also serves as an educational piece because it helps new collectors learn about mint marks, varieties, and the importance of coin grading, and the lessons learned from studying the bicentennial half-dollar can be applied to many other rare and valuable U.S. coins in the future. Even today, decades after its release, the bicentennial half-dollar continues to spark curiosity because its connection to America's 200th birthday gives it timeless significance. And every collector values it not only as a currency artifact but as a symbolic bridge between the past and the present. As interest in historical coins grows around the world, the 1776 to 1976 half-dollar stands out as a prime example of how a commemorative issue can transform into a treasure, especially when combined with rarity, exceptional condition, or one of the elusive minting errors that turn a simple coin into a collector's masterpiece. And now, for those wondering how much the rarest and most pristine Denver minted bicentennial half-dollar with exceptional errors can command in the numismatic world, the value can soar all the way up to an astonishing $150,000. Second rare coin, the story of the United States of America half-dollar from the year 1998 minted at Philadelphia is one that many collectors overlook at first glance. But once you understand the secrets behind this coin, you start to realize that even a modern half-dollar can carry hidden treasures that surprise the entire numismatic world. This 1998 half-dollar belongs to the beloved Kennedy half-dollar series, a coin line cherished by collectors for its historical significance and elegant design rooted in a tribute to President John F. Kennedy, whose legacy continues to captivate the hearts of Americans and coin lovers around the globe. When the Philadelphia Mint struck the 1998 half-dollar, millions of them entered circulation. But what makes this particular year fascinating is that although it seems like a common coin, there are rare conditions and special errors that can transform an ordinary example into a valuable piece worth far more than anyone would expect. The obverse of the 1998 half-dollar carries the timeless portrait of President Kennedy created by Gilroy Roberts, and even decades later, collectors admire the smooth, refined lines that give Kennedy's features a bold, lifelike appearance representing honor, strength, and national pride. On the reverse side, Frank Gasparo's iconic eagle design spreads its wings wide, gripping arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing America's readiness for peace while maintaining its strength, and this patriotic imagery only adds to the sentimental value of the coin, especially among collectors who admire classic American symbolism. Although millions were minted, sharp-eyed collectors know that the 1998 half-dollar becomes extremely desirable when found in flawless condition, untouched by circulation, because very few manage to survive without scratches, marks, or dulling from years of handling, making pristine examples incredibly difficult to find today. What truly elevates the value of this coin is the presence of exceptional minting quality from the Philadelphia Mint, because coins that exhibit a strong strike, crisp edges, and high-definition details on Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers instantly stand out and can skyrocket in desirability. Even more exciting is the fact that some 1998 half-dollars contain mint errors that were never intended to leave the mint, giving collectors the chance to discover rare and unusual variations that can increase a coin's value far beyond its face value and turn it into a standout showpiece in any collection. One rare error collectors search for is the double die obverse, where slight doubling appears on the lettering or features of Kennedy's portrait, and this type of anomaly, when dramatic enough, can be exceedingly valuable because it transforms the coin into a unique, one-in-a-million piece. Another highly desirable error is the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned on the coin's surface, creating an eye-catching, visually dramatic misprint that instantly captures attention and becomes an irresistible collectible for error enthusiasts who seek unusual and exciting coins. Collectors also keep an eye out for clipped planchet errors, where a small piece of the coin's outer edge is missing due to an early blank cutting mistake. And these clipped half dollars from 1998p can be incredibly appealing because they show clear evidence of minting mishaps that are increasingly rare in modern production. There are also coins from this year that exhibit die cracks or die breaks, where raised lines or lumps appear due to aging mint equipment, and these defects create a dramatic textured look across parts of the design, making every era coin feel like a piece of industrial history preserved in metal. What makes the 1998p half dollar fascinating is that these errors and high-grade examples often go unnoticed by people who assume modern coins cannot hold high value, but the truth is that serious collectors know modern rarities can be just as rewarding as older coins if they contain the right combination of condition, scarcity, and striking uniqueness, because the Philadelphia Mint produced so many half dollars that entered everyday use. Finding one that has remained untouched and brilliantly preserved is becoming harder each year, which drives collectors to search old coin rolls, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes in hopes of uncovering a hidden treasure. The thrill of searching for rare 1998p half dollars adds to the excitement of collecting, because every coin has the potential to be a small mystery waiting to reveal whether it holds a simple face value or an extraordinary rarity that could surprise even the most experienced numismatist. For many collectors, the Kennedy half dollar carries emotional significance as well, because it honors a beloved president whose influence still resonates today, and that connection helps elevate the 1998p coin beyond mere currency and into an object of remembrance, patriotism, and historical reflection. At coin shows and auctions, collectors often share stories of discovering rare 1998p half dollars tucked away in their childhood collections or picked up unintentionally from pocket change, and these surprising finds keep the excitement alive for new and seasoned collectors alike. This coin also serves as a perfect example of why collectors pay attention to grading, because the difference between a lightly circulated coin and a perfect mint state specimen can mean the difference between a common piece and one worth an impressive amount, especially when paired with one of the minting errors that collectors crave. As time passes, the interest in modern-era collectible half dollars continues to grow, and the 1998p half dollar is now gaining recognition as a coin with hidden potential, especially for those rare examples that combine exceptional preservation, stunning strike quality, and scarce minting errors, and for collectors wondering just how valuable the rarest and most pristine 1998p half dollar with exceptional errors can become. The highest tier examples have been known to reach an astonishing value of $43,000. Third expensive coin, the story of the United States of America half dollar from 1918 is one that brings collectors back to a time when American coinage was undergoing a remarkable artistic transformation, and every piece that left the mint carried not only monetary value but also the spirit of a nation entering a new era of design and craftsmanship. The 1918 half dollar belongs to the Walking Liberty series, one of the most admired and visually stunning coin designs in United States history, and collectors still regard these early-date pieces as miniature works of art that represent the very height of American numismatic beauty. When this coin was struck, the world was still feeling the aftershocks of World War I, and the United States was shifting into a new chapter of growth and recovery, which gives every 1918 half dollar a deeper historical significance that enhances its desirability for coin lovers and historians alike. Designed by the brilliant sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, the obverse features the iconic figure of Lady Liberty walking gracefully toward the rising sun, draped in the American flag and carrying branches of laurel and oak, symbolizing civil and military glory in a scene that collectors still view as one of the most poetic images ever placed on a coin. The reverse side of the 1918 half dollar displays a majestic eagle perched courageously on a mountain crag, its wings partially raised as if ready to take flight, and every detail from the feathers to the rugged rock beneath its talons reflects the strength, hope, and endurance of the American spirit during a pivotal time in history. Although the walking Liberty half-dollars were heavily used in daily commerce, very few examples from 1918 survived in top-tier condition, and this scarcity makes any sharply struck, well-preserved piece a true treasure in the eyes of passionate collectors who know how difficult it is to find such early coins without heavy wear. What truly elevates the 1918 half-dollar is that many were struck using dies that wore down quickly, meaning the majority of coins show weak details or flattened high points, so collectors eagerly seek out the exceptional few that display full lines, crisp lettering, and complete design definition, making them extremely desirable. Adding to the excitement is the fact that the 1918 half-dollar was minted at multiple locations including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, and certain mint marks, especially the ones from Denver and San Francisco, can command significant value due to their lower production numbers and rarity today. The Denver minted 1918 D half-dollar in particular has become famous in the collecting community for its scarce high-grade examples, because most circulated extensively during the early 20th century, making mint state pieces incredibly difficult to acquire and highly rewarding for those lucky enough to find one. Collectors also pay close attention to minting errors from 1918, because this era of coin production sometimes resulted in fascinating mistakes that were unintentionally released, and these errors can turn a simple half-dollar into a standout rarity that captures the imagination of dedicated numismatists. One of the most desirable errors is the double die, where slight doubling appears on Liberty's arm, the date, or the inscriptions, creating a dramatic visual effect that immediately sets the coin apart and makes it a prize worth searching for in old collections or inherited coin boxes. Another valuable minting anomaly is the off-center strike, where the design is shifted away from the center of the coin, creating a bold and unusual appearance that modern collectors find irresistible because of its clear display of minting mechanics gone wrong. Collectors also look for lamination errors, where the metal surface of the coin peels or flakes due to impurities in the alloy. And these rare imperfections add character to a 1918 half-dollar, making each affected piece uniquely different from all others and highly attractive to error enthusiasts. Over the decades, the historical significance of the 1918 half-dollar has continued to grow, because each coin represents a time capsule from an era when American coinage was transitioning from simple utility to true artistic expression, elevating its status among both new and experienced collectors. The Walking Liberty design itself has gained legendary status, so much so that it was revived for the modern American Silver Eagle series, and this lasting influence has increased demand for original early-date pieces like the 1918 half-dollar, making them even more cherished today. Every collector who examines a 1918 half-dollar feels a connection to the craftsmanship of the past, as the deep, bold relief and intricate sculpting give the coin a lifelike presence that stands out in a way few modern coins can match. Adding to its appeal and emotional value, finding a well-preserved 1918 half-dollar has become increasingly challenging with each passing year, and this scarcity makes every high-grade coin feel like a rare discovery, encouraging treasure hunters and numismatists to inspect every old collection carefully, hoping for that one exceptional piece. The thrill of encountering a 1918 half-dollar in pristine or error-filled condition continues to excite collectors because the rarity, artistry, and history all combine to create a coin that feels both timeless and immensely rewarding, making it a dream addition to any serious collection. Collectors who specialize in early 20th century U.S. coinage often rank the 1918 Walking Liberty half-dollar among their most thrilling finds due to its striking design, limited surviving population, and the possibility of discovering rare minting mistakes that elevate its value far beyond expectations. And now for those who wonder how high the value can rise for the rarest, most flawless, error-enhanced 1918 half-dollar, the finest known examples have reached an astonishing price of $200,000. Especially, the story of the United States of America half-dollar from 1972 minted at Denver is far more fascinating than most collectors realize, because this seemingly ordinary Kennedy half-dollar hides rare surprises that have transformed it into one of the most exciting modern-era coins to search for today. The 1972 D half-dollar comes from a time when the Denver Mint was producing millions of coins each year, Yet within this massive production run were special pieces that escaped with remarkable quality, rare striking features, and unusual errors that collectors now hunt with great enthusiasm. This coin proudly carries the portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, a design created to honor his legacy after his tragic assassination, and even 50 years later, the strong, confident profile continues to inspire collectors who view this coin as more than money but as a tribute to an American leader remembered with deep respect. The reverse of the 1972 D half dollar features Frank Gasparo's powerful eagle design, wings fully extended and surrounded by a burst of stars, symbolizing national pride, unity, and the enduring strength of the United States, adding emotional and visual appeal to the coin's overall character. Although millions of these coins were placed into circulation, the challenge is that most suffered heavy wear, making high-grade examples exceptionally difficult to find today, and collectors know that a 1972 D half dollar with full luster and crisp details can easily stand out as a premium treasure. One of the reasons this coin is so exciting is the striking inconsistencies that occurred during the minting process, because not all coins came out with the same sharpness, and those rare examples struck perfectly with strong detail on Kennedy's hair and the eagle's feathers have become incredibly desirable. The Denver Mint in 1972 also produced several remarkable minting errors that were never meant to enter circulation, and these errors are precisely what pushed the value of certain coins far beyond what most people would ever expect from a modern half dollar. Collectors especially watch for double die obverse errors, where the lettering, numbers, or even parts of Kennedy's profile appear slightly doubled, creating a dramatic visual effect that instantly transforms the coin into a standout rarity worthy of serious attention. Another thrilling error is the off-center strike, where part of the design is shifted noticeably away from the center of the coin, producing a bold and unusual look that error collectors absolutely love because it reveals the minting mistake so clearly and unmistakably. There are also clipped planchet errors for this year, where a curved portion of the coin is missing due to miscut metal blanks, and these clipped-edge coins offer a unique charm that attracts collectors who appreciate imperfections that tell the story of how the coin was formed. Some 1972 D half dollars even display die cracks or die breaks, where raised lines or chunks of metal appear due to worn or damaged minting dies, and these dramatic features can turn an ordinary coin into a remarkable collectible with exceptional character and appeal. The thrill of searching for these error coins keeps collectors engaged, because the idea that a simple 50-cent piece could actually hold hidden value adds excitement to every coin roll hunt, estate sale search, or old coin jar discovery. Another fascinating aspect of the 1972 D half dollar is that the Denver Mint output varied widely in strike quality, so collectors must examine each coin closely under magnification to detect subtle differences that could significantly impact the coin's desirability and market demand. High-grade examples that have been preserved in near-perfect condition are tremendously rare because few people saved these coins when they were first released, meaning those that survived untouched are now cherished for their scarcity and beauty. The combination of strong design, historical significance, and the potential for stunning mint errors has pushed interest in the 1972 D half dollar to new heights, especially as collectors today rediscover the value of coin varieties from the early 1970s. It is also one of the coins that brings excitement to beginner collectors because it shows how even coins from relatively recent decades can hold surprising value when rarity, condition, and errors align in the perfect combination. Collectors often share stories of discovering a rare 1972 D half dollar in old bank rolls or inherited boxes, and these surprising finds create unforgettable moments that fuel the passion and joy of coin collecting for people of all ages. Each time a collector picks up a 1972 D half dollar and studies its details, they engage not only with a piece of currency but with a fascinating artifact from America's recent past, one that reflects the artistry, history, and craftsmanship of its era. The growing interest in modern Kennedy half dollars has increased the demand for rare 1972 D varieties, making them more exciting than ever and encouraging collectors to carefully examine every example they encounter in hopes of finding an unexpected treasure. And now for the moment every coin lover waits for: the rarest, most pristine, An error-enhanced 1972 half dollar has been known to reach an astonishing value of $100,000. Last unique coin, the incredible story of the United States of America half dollar from 1988 minted at Denver is one that surprises even experienced collectors. Because this modern Kennedy half dollar seems ordinary at first glance, yet hidden within its mintage are rare treasures that have become highly desirable in the world of numismatics. The 1988 half dollar comes from a decade when the Denver Mint was producing vast quantities of circulating coins, but within this massive production were pieces that escaped with superior quality, extraordinary details, and rare minting errors that set them apart from the millions of common examples. This coin continues to carry the iconic image of President John F. Kennedy, a design that has remained deeply meaningful to Americans for decades, and collectors admire the noble, confident portrait that symbolizes leadership, history, and a legacy that still echoes through American culture. The reverse side features Frank Gasparo's powerful heraldic eagle, wings stretched wide with arrows and an olive branch in its talons, and the detail, symbolism, and strength expressed in this artwork make the 1988 half dollar a striking piece despite being a relatively modern coin. Most of the half dollars minted in 1988 entered heavy circulation, meaning they were quickly scratched, worn down, and stripped of their original mint luster, which makes well-preserved examples exceptionally valuable today because so few survived in pristine condition. Collectors especially seek 1988 half dollars struck with unusually strong detail, where Kennedy's hairlines appear sharp and the eagle's feathers are crisp, because these sharply struck coins are far scarcer than average and can stand out dramatically when graded by experts. But what truly elevates the excitement around this coin is the presence of rare minting errors that slipped through quality control and entered circulation unnoticed, giving collectors the chance to discover something remarkable hidden among ordinary pocket change. Double die averse errors are among the most thrilling, where doubling can be seen on the date, letters, or parts of Kennedy's profile, and these dramatic visual anomalies can turn a simple 1988 half dollar into a prized collector's piece worthy of serious attention. Off-center strikes also occurred in this year, producing coins where the entire design is shifted, leaving blank crescent-shaped areas on the surface, and these errors are extremely popular because they are both visually striking and unmistakably unique. Another rare and fascinating mistake is the clipped planchet error, where part of the coin's edge is missing due to a miscut metal blank, and these clipped-edge 1988 half dollars are highly collectible because they clearly display the minting flaw that created them. Some examples also show die cracks, die breaks, or raised lines caused by worn dies at the Denver Mint, and these errors give collectors beautifully flawed coins that tell intriguing stories about the stresses of coin production during the late 1980s. The thrill of searching for 1988 half dollar errors keeps collectors engaged because the idea of finding a rare and valuable coin from a year that seems common makes the hunt all the more exciting, especially for treasure hunters who love the challenge of roll searching. Another reason this coin attracts so much attention is that many people didn't save half dollars during the 1980s, resulting in fewer uncirculated examples surviving compared to earlier decades, and this scarcity has increased the demand for high-grade pieces. Collectors who specialize in modern-era coins recognize that even though the 1988 half dollar is relatively recent, its rarity comes from condition and errors rather than age, making it a perfect example of how modern coins can still deliver surprising value. Finding one in brilliant, untouched condition can feel like discovering a time capsule from the late 80s. And each pristine example reminds collectors of the artistic and historical continuity of the Kennedy half dollar series as it progressed through the decades. Auction results and collector discussions have highlighted just how much attention error coins from this year have received, encouraging more people to search their collections for unusual features that may have gone unnoticed for years. Every time a collector carefully studies a 1988 half dollar, they engage with a piece of currency that carries both nostalgia and opportunity, and this emotional connection continues to make the coin increasingly appealing among all levels of numismatists. As interest grows in discovering modern varieties and errors, the 1988 half dollar has become one of the most intriguing targets for collectors seeking hidden gems, and the excitement continues to rise each time a rare example surfaces in the marketplace. The combination of condition rarity, beautiful design, historical significance, and unexpected minting errors has made this coin a standout among late 20th century half-dollars, inspiring collectors to examine every detail with care and curiosity. And now for those who wonder how high the value of the rarest and most exceptional 1988 half-dollar can rise, the finest air-enhanced and perfectly preserved examples have reached an astonishing value of $70,000.